So recently, boxing pound for pound #1 Terence Bud Crawford was being asked about Javonte Davis, where the interviewer told Crawford, Javonte versus you is champion versus champion. Javonte is the champ at 135. However, Crawford responded with, Javonte is a champion of what? He's not a champion. Devin Haney is the champion. He's undisputed. Here is exactly what Crawford had to say. Check it out.
The biggest fight that I think that could be made is Tank Davis on a catchweight situation. I think he said that he felt confident that he would win that fight. So, how you feel about that? How you feel about that fight? Is it possible? Is it even possible at a catchweight?
No, ain't no catchweight.
There's no catchweight.
Ain't no
come up.
You come up to 47. Yeah.
You come up. Not even entertaining a catchweight.
No, I'm not.
He's a champ though too, undefeated.
And what champ?
He's not a champ. You don't have a belt.
What belt?
You have a belt?
What belt?
He's not even the #1.
Come on, man. Tell me what belt. You know boxing. Don't
I'm talking to a champ.
You forgot Devin Haney is undisputed?
They still trying to get him to fight.
Who undisputed at 135?
Devin Haney isn't. I wanted to ask you about Devin Haney too.
So Devin Haney got all the belts. He the champ. Nobody else the champ.
But he's the bigger draw though.
Devin is the champ.
But Tank's the bigger draw.
Oh yeah, definitely Tank the bigger draw, but
so you're not catching weight.
It's weight classes for a reason.
It's levels.
Tell them come up. Tell them come up here where the big boys at.
All right,
I'll welcome them.
I'm gonna leave a link for the full interview in the description box below. Crawford was only speaking facts there. At the end of the day, or at least the night, Devin Haney is the #1 at the lightweight division. He's the king of the division because he's the undisputed champion. And he's the last undisputed champion since Pernell Whitaker at the lightweight division, which is something that hasn't been done for over 30 years. On top of that, Devin Haney is the youngest undisputed champion in the history of the sport in the 4 belts era. So even though the lightweight division is the deepest division in the sport of boxing, with the 3 kings being in it, Devin Haney, Shakur, and Javonte, even then, without a doubt, the #1 in the lightweight division is Devin Haney because he's the undisputed champion. I mean, this is not up for debate. Devin Haney is the youngest out of the bunch, and he's also the one with the deepest resume in the lightweight division by beating the likes of Linares, Jojo, Kambosos, and Lomachenko. So no matter how you slice it, even though we have the 3 kings in the lightweight division, there only could be one king, and that's Devin Haney. He's #1. Now, despite the facts, we already know what Javonte and Shakur fans gonna say. They obviously gonna repeat Javonte and Shakur talking points of belts don't matter. The only thing that matters is the money, which is all good and dandy. However, can you imagine if LeBron and Jordan came out and said, championships don't matter in the NBA. We don't care about getting rings. All we care about is getting money. Man, they would not hear the end of it. The fans and the media will rip them apart. To make matters worse, can you imagine if LeBron and Jordan have always said belts matter? They always wanted to become champions in the league until they had to go up against Kobe. All of a sudden, they changed their whole script. From saying championship titles do matter, to now retracting their own comments by stating championship titles don't matter in order to avoid playing against Kobe, who has the championship titles, who won the championship rings. How would LeBron and Jordan look in that scenario? Well, that's exactly what Javonte and Shakur did when it came to fighting Devin Haney for undisputed. All of a sudden, Shakur went from claiming his dream was to become undisputed at 130 to mysteriously change his mind at 135, where he said undisputed doesn't matter. The moment he was supposed to fight Devin Haney for undisputed. What a coincidence. And that's why he ended up turning down 2 offers to fight Devin Haney for undisputed, where Shakur team said they turned down approximately $8 million, by far Shakur's biggest payday, to fight Devin Haney for Undisputed. Why? I guess because all of a sudden, belts don't matter. You gotta make it make sense. Because if you want to use the excuse of belts don't matter, what about the money? Shakur ultimately turned down his biggest payday by far, approximately $8 million, according to Shakur's own team. So we just gonna ignore that? If money is the only thing that matters, then why did Shakur turn down his biggest payday of $8 million to fight Devin Haney? We all know what time it is. Belts have always mattered to Javonte and Shakur until Devin Haney became undisputed. That's when belts didn't matter anymore, since they obviously have to go through Devin Haney in order to win them belts, which is a very, very difficult task that's not worth the undisputed reward and the biggest payday of their careers. That's how risky Javonte and Shakur view Devin Haney. Ultimately, Shakur and Javonte are giving Devin Haney the ultimate respect, not with their words, however with their actions by staying away from the Devin Haney fight as far as possible. This is all facts. This is not me talking emotionally like you fans do, because I could prove Javonte and Shakur do believe belts matter, despite what they say to delay the Devin Haney fight. The reason why I could prove it is because Shakur, for example, is fighting for a belt his next fight. To make matters worse, Javonte, on the other hand, even though he says belts don't matter when it came to the Devin Haney fight, ironically, Javonte Davis is paying sectioning fees for the WBA belt that's not even a championship title. That's right. As crazy as that sounds, I mean, at least Shakur is paying sectioning fees for a real world title. However, Javonte, on the other hand, he's paying sectioning fees for nothing. Think about that. Javonte has been paying sectioning fees for years in the sport of boxing to the WBA, as if he was a champion. He's paying sectioning fees as if he's a champion. However, he's not. I mean, that's the ultimate finesse one-on-one by the WBA. Respectfully, Javonte is getting finessed if he's gonna tell us belts don't matter while he's paying championship fees for a belt that's not even a championship belt. Come on now. What the WBA is doing to Javonte is equivalence of Javonte spending Gucci and Louis money to buy a Walmart belt. Not a Gucci belt, not a Louis belt, but a Walmart belt. This is what Javonte is doing. And the only reason he could be doing it is to pretend that he's a champion in order to promote his fights. So ultimately, I guess belts do matter because Javonte is over here paying championship fees for a title that's not even a world title. Javonte is paying sectioning fees as much as Devin Haney for the WBA, only to keep his mandatory position, not to fight Devin Haney. However, in order to be in position to fight for Devin Haney WBA vacant title once Devin Haney moves up to 140. This is ultimately Javonte's plan. So again and again and again, despite what Javonte and Shakur say out of their mouth, their action says belts do matter. Unless Javonte is going to drop his mandatory title and never ever fight for a world title or a mandatory title ever again, then he could say belts don't matter. But when Javonte is over here paying championship fees for a belt that's not even a championship belt, then he's not in position to say belts don't matter, since Javonte is contradicting his words with his own actions. Therefore, the conclusion to all of this is not that belts don't matter, but more so, who's holding the belts is what matters. It's pointless to try to win belts from a champion that you don't feel like you could beat. For example, a perfect analogy is, picture yourself in the jungle without any weapons. You ran across a treasure that was equivalent to $1 million. and there was a cat in the way. Will that cat stop you from getting that treasure? Absolutely not. However, now picture a lion that's protecting the treasure. Are you willing to go through the lion in order to get that $1 million treasure? Of course not, because even though you want that $1 million treasure, it's pointless to get it at the moment in time, since you will lose your life trying to get it. And that's how Javonte and Shakur view Devin Haney. They view Devin Haney as the lion that's protecting the undisputed treasure, which is why when Gervonta and Shakur said Devin Haney only beat one fighter to become undisputed, first of all, that's not true. I'm gonna prove that in a minute. Second of all, Javonte could have became undisputed with only one fight. All he had to do was fight Devin Haney for undisputed and his biggest payday. I'm talking about Javonte's biggest payday, since the Devin Haney fight is by far the biggest fight for Gervonta at the moment in time. However, he didn't. Likewise for Shakur Stevenson. He's celebrating with Crawford when he became undisputed by beating Errol Spence, but he turned down his own Errol Spence fight for undisputed against Devin Haney. Shakur said Devin Haney only became undisputed with one fight, which is a complete lie. But ironically, Shakur is the one that could have became undisputed with only one fight by fighting Devin Haney. Instead, Shakur ended up turning down his biggest payday of approximately $8 million to fight Devin Haney for undisputed with only one fight. Make it make sense.
For now.
He fought one fight, so I mean, it ain't really like to me. Like I respect what he done. I ain't hating on like what he done, but he fought one fight. I mean, if I was presented the same opportunity, it'd be the same thing. So.
What do you mean if I was presented the same opportunity? Shakur was presented the same opportunity for more money, approximately $8 million according to his own team. However, Shakur Stevenson ended up turning down the opportunity to become undisputed with only one fight. Additionally, it didn't take Devin Haney one fight to become undisputed, since Devin Haney was already the WBC champion when he unified with Kambosos. In order to retain that WBC title, Devin Haney had to fight Linares, Jojo, etc., etc. Then he had to unify with Kambosos not once, but twice in Australia. More importantly, to get that deal to begin with, to have the opportunity to unify with Kambosos, Devin Haney had to accept a 3-fight deal that included a Lomachenko fight or top-ranked best fighter, which could have been Shakur too. Therefore, it took Devin Haney 7 fights to become undisputed. However, Shakur had the opportunity to become undisputed with one fight by fighting Devin Haney, and he didn't have to travel across seas nor take a bad deal. And guess what Shakur did? He turned down the Devin Haney undisputed fight for approximately $8 million according to Shakur's own team. So what does that say about Shakur, and what does that say about Devin Haney? Shakur pretty much said, man, it's easier for me to collect the belts one by one. That will be an easier task than to beat Devin Haney. This is pretty much what Shakur Stevenson admitted. With the facts being laid out, drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe below. And to be continued on the next episode of Akhi TV. Peace out. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.